Welcome back to Spank Ranch Garage. UPS just dropped me off a welder for less than $75. Whew! Taking a risk on this one. So I was in the market for a stick welder that was a little more portable. So currently I actually don't own a dedicated stick welder. I do have a multi-process TIG that does stick. But when I need to weld out in the field, it's pretty annoying because I need to take it off my shelf. I need to drag it out here, run an extension cord out. It's just big and bulky. So I was gonna buy an old Lincoln Buzz box or something on Marketplace for like $100. And then I came across an ad from Vevor, which I'm sure you've heard of them by now. The up and coming Chinese tool company. And they have an entire stick welder that's the size of a case of beer. And I paid $74.99 delivered. So I got a coupon and there was tax, and after the tax, the coupon, and the free shipping, this thing was $74.99 delivered to my house. So it's got a 650 plug on it. So if you've got normal 240 in your shop, you probably already have these, though it will run on 120 as well. Wow, this thing's even smaller than a case of beer. God damn! It's very light too, there's nothing to it. Wow. Well, this is good timing that this arrived because I'm literally in the middle of a project where I was going to bring out my big stick welder, and now I've got the Vevor. This is about the size of a 12-pack of beer. This isn't even a 30 rack. It looked bigger on the internet. This is the littlest freaking welder I've ever seen in my life. That is insane. But they say this thing does like 200 amps or something. But let's give this thing a try. So it's a dual voltage. It's got a 120 volt plug on it. But then you do the old Chinese trick 'em here and plug that in. And I guess they convert this to a 6R50. This does have another feature of like welding hot staples for like car bumpers and crap. I have no interest in doing that, though maybe that's a handy thing to have in the future. Maybe I'll end up using it. I know it's got a couple other features, like it's got a hot start feature, so it'll up the current until the arc starts, and then it'll back off to your indicated setting. Things like that to make your electrode not stick as much. Even comes with an electrode. What is this? J422. I've never welded J422 before. I don't even know what that is. But we're gonna run 6011. Looks like it's got little knockoff DINS plugs on it for your leads, which is okay. The wire feels half decent. The stinger's cheesy, but I mean, for a $75 welder, trust me, I'm not complaining. I'm just saying this. I mean, you know, how can you seriously manufacture this and ship it to my house for $75? That's insane. It's actually got decent length on it too. Wow, feels like decent copper cable. You know, nice thin strands. It's not a terrible clamp. It's bonded here. Man, you just can't beat this stuff these days. So this little guy is a real inverter-based machine. It pulse width modulates to control current, I guess. It is LGBT, which is really cool. So the one I purchased is the 200 model here. So it's got a 30% duty cycle at 40 degrees C, pretty much got all the features. And here up at 220 or 240 volts, you're looking at 30 to 200 amp delivery. So that's no joke. I mean, you can burn some serious rod with that. Otherwise, the manual is pretty simple. Unfortunately, all of the electrode to amperage conversions and the thicknesses are all metric, but we already know that kind of stuff. So gonna be running 1/8 inch Hobart 6011s. DC, electrode positive, 100 amps. Whew. She's spicy. We're blowing through that 8-wall. I got some thick and dirty trailer hitch piece here. It's all greasy, but it's like 1/2 inch wall. We'll just blow some heat into it. Well, hot damn. She burns a rod. I don't stick weld enough to know if it's doing a good job, a bad job, or I'm just doing the bad job here, but usually it's just me. So I've been MIG and TIG welding for years. I don't stick weld. I haven't done it in, you know, I've done it a handful of times in the last 10 years. And looks fine to me. I mean, she's all stacked up because that's what I was doing. I was just dumping rod into this. So I brought over an actual stick welding guy to show me how to use this, and he says, what does he say?
Not a bad little unit.
It's on there.
He's on there. Not bad.
What do you think for a $75 machine?
It f***ing rips. He rips. Yeah, nice this thing throws an arc.
Yeah. So I've been welding with this little Vevor welder now for probably about 3 or 4 months. Various projects. I've done some mobile welding with it. I've done some shop welding with it.
Seems to start really nice, even at 110 amps on a 532 rod. The hot start feature, whatever it's called, seems to work pretty well.
I'm running it on 240 volt for this. I have run it on 120, seems good as well. Duty cycle wise, I'm not the guy to really max that out. You know, I weld an inch, then I got to clean up slag, I weld an inch. So I don't think I'll ever hit any duty cycle issues with this. Not bad. So all in all, I can't say enough good about this welder. I think the only thing I would upgrade would be a better stinger. This is starting to crack and it doesn't hold the rods super nicely, but that's a pretty cheap upgrade. Otherwise, I mean, the ground clamp on this thing is good. It's better than some of my other welders. The leads feel really solid. It's super lightweight. It fits anywhere. Runs on dual voltage. I don't think you can go wrong with this welder. All right, so I was just welding for approximately 75 minutes straight. Now, not necessarily straight, but run a rod, wire brush, run a rod, wire brush. I don't know how many rods I went through, but quite a few. This thing never got hot, never nothing. I mean, the thing's ice cold. It is 40 degrees out here in the shop tonight, but at 90 amps, I'd say this thing is close to 100% duty cycle. I don't know what Vevor rates it at, but it's pretty damn good. Welded about 8 feet of weld here. Ain't the greatest, ain't the worst. I'm getting the hang of it a little bit here, but it doesn't matter on this type of equipment. Overall, guys, this welder is the best thing I've probably ever spent $75 on. I've spent $75 on a pair of pliers before. I've certainly spent $75 at a beer store, and nothing has given me the value that I've gotten out of this Vevor welder here. Tough tools, half price. It's actually way less than half price. They are fairly tough. Had a grinder fall off the shelf and smash the side of it, put a good dent in it, still works great. As you can tell, this thing's covered in dust. I've been grinding towards it, you know, just traveling with it, treating it crappy. I don't know what to tell you. I really am impressed with this purchase. The ground clamp's decent. You know, it's actually got real braided copper in it. The stinger sucks, but that's something I'd be happy to upgrade. It's actually starting to crack. You see right there, thing's starting to crack a little bit. Yeah, and it's a little twisted. So the stinger sucks, but you can get a real stinger, put it on this welder, and probably be, you know, right at that $125 mark. So I can't say enough about this thing. I highly recommend you buy one. It is just the best bang for the buck, the most portable, cutest little stick welder I've ever seen in my life. Anyway, let me know what you think in the comments. Thanks for watching Spank Ranch Garage. I'll see you next time.